2017 began with hope and hype in Corvallis. Oregon State football ended 2016 on a 2-game win streak that included a victory against rival Oregon in the Civil War. Matt, not all elementary students in our area can take PE classes, so the nonprofit Healthy Moves decided to tag team with teachers to keep kids on playgrounds like this one not only active, but in other ways than just playing tag. Former Oregon basketball star Elgin Cook is headed to Las Vegas this summer. Though he's pressing his luck, it won't be on a roulette wheel. Hundreds of fans piled into Reser Stadium to catch a glimpse of the new and improved Oregon State Beavers, with new quarterback Jake Luton and new running back Thomas Tyner. The Oregon and Oregon State women put on a show Friday night in Gill Coliseum. Fans were treated to an overtime thriller in round 1 of the Civil War that went the Beavers' way, making it 14 straight victories. After less than a year, Willie Taggart announced today he's leaving Oregon and heading to Florida State. And now Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullins must once again buckle up and find a new head coach. Willie Taggart has resurrected the Oregon Ducks football program after a lackluster season under former head coach Mark Helfrich. Excitement is once again building around Oregon football, and the team says they can't wait to toss on the pads and leave it out all on the field. Last year, the Sheldon girls only had 2 losses in the 6A Southwest Conference, and both of them were to South Medford. But tonight, against North Medford, the Irish were once again taken down to the wire. Christmas came early for Duck fans on Sunday night when it was reported that defensive coordinator Jim Leavitt would be staying at Oregon. What started with a few Oregon players has now evolved into a major movement on Twitter, calling for athletic director Rob Mullins to hire Mario Cristobal as their next head coach. They're using the hashtag CristobalIn to send the message that Cristobal is their guy. Oregon State football team has set Twitter ablaze tonight. Following the Beavers' 1-point loss to Stanford, multiple players have begun using the hashtag HallIn to show their support for interim head coach Corey Hall. The University of Oregon has 18 D1 varsity sport teams, but they aren't the only students on campus staying fit, being active, and competing.
All of our physical education classes are just that. They're an opportunity to provide activity for students, but to provide education around what that looks like and to provide opportunities for students to learn how to be active.
The University of Oregon offers 526 physical education courses each year. With the opportunity that these courses provide students, along with club and intramural sports, it's hard to say that D1 athletes are the only student athletes on campus.
I wouldn't just call the Division I athletes student athletes. Anybody that comes into the rec center and is active, that's an athlete as far as I'm concerned.
Webster's Dictionary defines athlete as a person who is trained in or good at sports, games, or exercises that require physical skill and strength. This definition seems to fit these students perfectly, as they are being trained on skills that are required for their specific sport.
Whether they're at the highest level or whether they're at intramural sports, they are working for a team. They have coaches and they work out to stay strong. They take probably my PE class because they don't have maybe a personal trainer or a training staff, I should say, helping them. But that to me is the student athlete.
To the NCAA, the D1 athletes that represent our school in intercollegiate play are the student athletes. But to others, we all can be student athletes.
Everyone that walks through these turnstiles, the 4,000 or 5,000 students a day, you're all a student athlete. You might not realize it, but you're doing something active. Activity is the key to life.
Reporting for Duck TV Sports, I'm Ronald Clark. Coming up, with both Ducks baseball and softball teams take their talent on the road for Pac-12 matchups, and the acrobatic and tumbling team is set to defend its title at the Acrobatic and Tumbling National Championship. We'll have details after the break. Welcome back. I'm Ronald Clark with this week's sports update. The number 7 ranked Ducks will have their hands full this weekend with the top 10 battle against their in-state rival, number 4 Oregon State. The Ducks will be coming into the series riding a 9-game winning streak. Since the University of Oregon reinstated the baseball program in 2009, the home team has won 15 of the 21 Civil War games. Junior pitcher Jake Reed talked about how hard it is to play in Corvallis. The 3-game series begins against the Beavers tonight at 7 p.m. Junior lefty Tommy Thorpe will be on the mound for the Ducks. Moving on to the number 1 softball team in the country, tonight the Ducks will begin a 3-game series against the Stanford Cardinals. The Ducks have now held the number 1 spot for 3 consecutive weeks. A huge part of their success this year has to do with the superb play and leadership of sophomore pitching ace Sheridan Hawkins. Oregon News sports reporter Chris Brooklier has a story on Hawkins stepping into the leadership role. You can watch Hawkins and the number 1 ranked Ducks kick off their series against the Cardinals tonight on ESPNU at 7 o'clock. Another number 1 team in Eugene is the acrobatic and tumbling team. The Ducks are in Azusa, California for the acrobatic and tumbling national championships. The championship competition kicked off last night with individual events, which saw the Ducks take home 6 event titles, the most of the night. The quest for their 4th consecutive championship continues with the team matchups tonight. That's all for sports. We now send it to Nick Nathaniels with your weekend forecast. Nick?